Marriage as a responsibility, it is a rite of passage, and it is a legal right. It is not an illegal
legal right.
Yeah. Okay, I will encourage my fellow youths to marry at the right time.
What is the right time?
Okay, to me, at the right time, when one thinks that this is the right time, when he or she meets what she expects in life. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Kagina.
Well, indeed,
what do you
Linda,
have on your end?
I'm joined by a very interesting corner right here. Let me start with Carolina. So, what's your perspective on marriage, and will you get married?
Wait, will I get married? If it happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, well and good. The aim is to be rich. The rest is not really my business. As long as I get the money, as long as I'm balling out here, that is the aim. Marriage is not really one of the goals or pedestals I've placed them, the way people have placed them. So if it happens, well and good. If it doesn't happen, well, still okay.
Is it a scam or not?
It depends on the approach you take. For women, most women, we've grown up seeing women struggle in the name of marriages. And men have grown up seeing the dad coming home and having everything provided. So once you have two different perspectives on the same thing, we will have varied emotions. Of course, for men, actually for a majority of men, marriage is beneficiary. Because why? They're getting someone who can, keep the house in order for a very simple fee of financial compensation, which everyone is doing nowadays. So you can't come and say, oh, men are the ones who are providing. Everyone is doing the providing. This economy is tough for us to leave that to one person. But from the woman's POV, it will be a scam. Because again, I'm expected to give my body. On top of that, in Kenya, we have a case where women are also providing. So on top of that, I'm also expected to do the primary child care. Simply because I'm getting married, that's a lot. That's a lot. So it depends on the perspective you take. If you take the African man's perspective, it will not be a scam. If you take the African woman's perspective, it will be a scam.
All right, indeed. Pass the mic to Joseph too.
Yeah. So my perspective is that marriage is actually not a scam. Unlike generations zimekuwa mbele yetu, Gen Zs tuko very woke. And this wokeness inakam in two ways. First of all, generations zilikuwa zimepita mbele yetu. These people tunaweza sema ni searchers, like ni explorers. But now sisi Gen Z ni explorers but tuko na tools. Hizi tools tuko nazo ni information. But most of the time unapata conversation ati uko willing kukuwa nayo ni time yenye umependa msee but yuko willing to come up kuelewa responsibilities zitakamaje. Me personally, me ni msee na look forward to a very big wedding because I know personally nikiingia hiyo space si ati ninaingia just for the sake ya floss ama ya kuonyesha kwa screens nimepata a very good wife. Rather ni place na commit na kama open check nasema that mimi nimecommit into this and I'm willing, even though kuna a lot of cases zenye zime happen and that's why tunapata wasi wengi wanasema marriage ni scam. But personally na feel say tuko na skills na tuko na opportunities and most of the time men pia wako willing to actually provide irrespective of the situation.
So unaona inaweza work?
Yeah, ina work vibaya sana, yeah.
Let's get to hear another voice.
Kagina hata kabla isonge, unajua umesema you're willing to invest to a wedding. Don't you think a woman can listen to that and say, oh, this guy, you're financially stable, I'm coming in there because of your worth?
I think, sorry, conversation main tunafaa to have ni before tufike kwa hiyo level ya kufanya marriage, tumejuana na msee. Unajua hapo ndio majenzi most I think wana make mistakes. Si upatana na msee leo, tumetextiana kesho, probably the next day tumeenda date na tumemaliza hiyo shughuli. But I think conversation most enye mimi na prefer ni tumepatana na wewe, let's get to know each other's talents, tujue ni nini exactly unaweza do better, nini unaweza bring on the table, skills gani unaweza leta. After that conversation ina change, inakuwa mutual. And then unakuwa beshte yangu and then ki translate to maybe a fiancé and unamaliza hiyo shughuli. Like haina rush.
But men say if you know, you know with na day too.
Unajua problem maybe tunataka kuexplore haraka and then tuna end up to make mistakes later. Yeah.
So people should take their time.
Yeah, but time ni subjective. Juu kila msee ako different. Vile anaweza view time na vile mimi na view time ni different. But most important, conversation ikuwe na tukuwe wa true. Vile nilisema sisi ni explorers but tuko na tools. Hizi tools ni nini? Vitu zenye ziko around us.
Linda umenotice when Joseph was speaking ameongelea story ya ikitukua transactional.
Yes.
Very
Exactly.
Unaleta
transactional.
nini kwa the table.
Exactly.
Yes.
What do you bring to the table?
What are you
Are
bringing
you
to the
also
table?
financially stable?
Yeah.
Bas.
I think it's actually mentioning a 50-50 kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
yo,
And by the way, kitu moja starts enye iko
Shortly,
sahi-
briefly, 30
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah. So kitu moja yenye ni starts sahi nasema 97% of Gen Zs, either men or women, are willing to bring something on the table. I can give you an example. Sahi vile economy iko imetu constrain. Tumeacha kukua ile design yenye wazazi wetu walikuwa wanakuja home wanatuletea kitu. Sahi imekuwa more of the same, like unaweza bring something. So you know, give even a better chance ya marriage ku work rather than
Thank you, Joseph. This conversation haiwezi isha hapa, ndio maana tunaendelea. Wacha tusikie Miss K what you have on your side.
Right. Hey, CJ, just pick up from that and just speak about something. There was a statistics juzi zilitoka about are men paying bride price? Is the modern man paying bride price? Because tumesikia stories za madem pia wana chip in hapo chini ya maji just for the sake of getting married. Isikike tu waliolewa. Malika, are you paying bride price for yourself? Maybe kidogo? 30% maybe?
Me,
Yeah.
as an African woman, am I mad to be paying my bride price?
But you see, now you say African woman.
Okay.
Huh? It's like you're choosing when to pull the African woman card.
Okay.
Right? You pull the African woman card when it comes to, say, bride price, but you pull the urban woman card when you're asked, what are you bringing to the table?
Okay, let's address that. Yeah. So, first of all, we have to really accept and face the fact that colonialism did change the face of marriage institution in Africa. For one, marriage in Africa was not all monogamous. It was only polygamous with people of high status. When you want familia and lineage, that was when most families would be polygamous, right? But when the white man came in, it's like, no, the Bible has said you only have to marry one woman.
Right. And she will be your helper.
Yes. Now we're
alive.
getting there. You know, I love using the Bible against people who like using the Bible to fight us. First of all, let's remember the same Bible is an edited version that was used to colonize us. Let us start there. The same Bible did not tell God, the woman is going to be your servant. There's a difference between a servant and a helper. Very big difference. When God was creating woman, he did not do it in public. He literally went in secret. Why? Because it actually shows that what God really respects what a woman is. So if our Creator can respect who we are, why can't men do the same thing? Bride price is not a thing of I'm buying you off. And sadly, that is something that has been it's been transformed into. It's a thing of we appreciate this person. We appreciate umrembo.
So when the woman chips in kidogo, he's also appreciating the man? No?
My friends.
Shikilia hapo Malika. Let me get to Joshua. Joshua, there's one perspective. First of all, is marriage to you a scam or not? And then please talk to me about the people who enter marriage as a business venture. Talk to me about that.
Definitely, I would say that marriage is not a scam. But what is a scam is what marriage has been packaged to be. And it is exactly the structures that surround marriage. Because right now, as we speak, there are too many expectations that come out of a marriage. And all these factors I'm speaking about, they are social factors, psychological factors, economic factors that I have had many people mentioning.
Right.
Because when you think about it right now, I was just doing some small research when I was coming. And right now, doing a dowry in Kenya, you will need between 400,000 and 700,000 to do a dowry. And that probably is placed on the man to raise that money. To do a wedding in Kenya, you will need between 600,000 and 1 million shillings.
Our guy over there is very ready for Tuesday to pay, to do a big wedding.
Yes. So I want you to imagine that kind of obligation that is being placed on you. Again, the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics is telling us that 67% of Gen Zs are unemployed.
Right.
So I want you to imagine this person who is unemployed is expected to raise this amount of money to marry, to raise this amount of money to pay the dowry and the bride price, and at the same time raise a child, take the child to school and everything else. So that makes it very, very difficult. So marriage is not a scam, but we need to redefine these structures that are around it. And that's why Gen Zs are not getting married, because it is very difficult to get married. But we need to build a new system of marriage from the ashes. Two, on the people who are treating marriage as a venture, business venture per se. Relationships naturally are transactional. You give and you take. So per se, I wouldn't say that marriage is a business venture, and that's a wrong approach to marriage. Because marriage originally was meant to, a union where two of you come together and raise children together. So if you treat it as a venture where you come to enrich yourself, then you are deviating from the main purpose of the marriage. And ideally, you are losing it from the word go.
But both parties are gaining monetary gains in this venture. It's not ati ni mtu mmoja. So it seems to some people that it does work for them like that. You might find families that don't have children, but they're doing very well business-wise. And that is marriage to them.
True, and I get what you're saying, but in marriage, there are two types of contributions.
Right.
One, there are monetary contributions, and then two, there are non-monetary contributions.
Right.
So in Kenya right now, as we speak, majorly men are the ones who are doing monetary contributions. And even the Supreme Court has even made a decision about it. But women do a lot of non-monetary contributions. And that is what we have been saying, that we need to recognize these non-monetary contributions that are being put into place. So majorly men incur a real financial, injury when it comes to marriages, because you have to provide. And what she was saying, an African woman expects an African man to provide.
Right.
Because there are the 3 P's that people speak about, and a man is really expected to always provide. So that is why you are seeing that there's a lot of even depression among married people. When you will go to the local joints hapo mtaani uingie, wende ongea na wazee wameo, unasikianga wakisema nyumbani nasumbuliwa na bibi, that's why I come to drink.
Yeah.
But it is because out of these expectations that are really placed on them, that is why it goes to there.
Okay. And I'd like hapo tu penye tumeongelelea marriage being a business venture, I want us to listen to this one particular video, and it's coming from a financial expert. All right? So let's hear that video.
Institution created to enable property ownership between two people. It's got nothing to do with love. You shouldn't have to have the government come into a romantic relationship. Why is the government coming into a romantic relationship? You love one another and you can love one another until you die. Marriage, in my view, was created so that we can be able to own property together, so that in the event of your death or my death, there is a structured way in which that property will continue to be held, and we'll be able to take care of the assigns of the marriage, being the children. Because marriage is a contract. It's me and you. It's this man and this woman. And so any other interloper into this relationship has got no locus standi, has got no claim to anything that the two of us build. There is no reason why we should come together and get this contract when we are in love. If we are now going to come together, we're in love, now start to create property together. We need to say, this property that we're holding together, what do we want to do with it? Do we want to do it for business? Are we holding it for our children? What are we going to do? Should we then create a company because it's an asset?
Should we then create a company because it's an asset? Love and marriage. Malika Ouma.
Yes, Moa.
Are you bringing the word love or the aspect of love in marriage? Should we be in love to get married? That's the question.
I really do think you should be in love to get married.
Is it important? Is it an important aspect?
I do believe it's an important aspect, but it's not the only aspect.
Okay.
With just to add on to what my brother here said, when it comes to the pressures of the provision, for a very long time, women were not able to actually earn money. If you can remember that very well. From a very, very long time, men were the only ones in the workforces. And when women were allowed to earn money, this actually happened here in Kenya. You can go and ask any of your parents. That kama mwanamke alikuwa anafanya kazi, inabidi bwanake ama babake ama brotherake aende achukue pesa yake. So for a very long time, women have not even had control over money. So that whole responsibility was put on men, not by women. But by the society created by who? By men. So if men are having a problem being told, oh, you say you're the provider, provide. And to me, providing is not just financial. That's the dumbest thing you can ever assume. Because you need to provide emotionally, mentally. How are you going to be able to guide your child? Mtoto akifanya homework, is it only the mother who's going to be helping? No. Is it only the mother who created the child? No. The father was there as well.
Right.
So we put monetary responsibilities on only the husband, and that pressure has been driven so hard that we forget it's not the only way of providing that a family needs.
And on that note, we'll talk about also the emotional provision. You've spoken about that. And we've had harrowing stories of people in marriage getting abused physically, mentally, financially, yeah?
True.
Are we still considering marriage even after seeing all this happening?
This is gonna make me sound very crazy, but yes. I personally as Malika, I see that the institution of marriage can give you a certain level of safety if both of you are willing to use your brains. Because in most marriages, what wanagongana because it's I. But when you get married, you become a we. You become a team. Literally, as he said, one of the main things that people were doing was to come together to raise a family together, to raise children. And to add on to what Mainamal said, you cannot be saying that Atika's women, their work is just to take care of the children. First of all, cleaning and cooking are not gender roles. They are basic human things, roles. Before any man gets married, doesn't he have somebody who's cleaning his house, who's cooking for him? So why is it when he now gets a girl who loves him and said, you know what, I'm gonna come and be a thing with you, kazi yake ni kumwosha, kwani yeye ni mama fua? Is that his mother? Technically, if you're looking for a woman to cook and clean for you, you're looking for your mama.
Or a maid.
Or a maid. Yeah. And I'm not going to subscribe to be any, because as much as I can cook and clean for myself, my man got to be able to do that for himself. Mimi nikitoka kwa nyumba, I've gone for work for a whole week. So I come back to the house and there are flies all over. No. Are you going to tell me he's going to starve for a week?
Okay. Thank you, Malika. Joshua, the same question. We've seen stories, very, very sad stories, actually. The other day, we saw a woman who was allegedly dragged by people sent by the husband, and she ended up dying. You know, we've seen such stories and we see them daily now, right?
True.
Are we still considering marriage, or how then do we block that, right, as we are trying to make decisions on whether or not to get married?
Yes, Ms. K, I agree. I know the room is very heated, but I will respond to that. Yes, the Gen Zs are still considering marriage, me being one of them. But what we want is to really redefine what marriage is. Yeah. That is what we are seeking to do. Because when you look at how marriage has always been perceived to be, marriage was built on a system of, for example, look at something like patriarchy. Right. You know, people don't want patriarchs, people want partners right now. And you know, that is where the problem is. And luckily, I agree with what one of the persons who was speaking said, that now we have a lot of information. You know, we are the generation that has the highest access to information.
Right.
So people are approaching marriage from a very different point of view. But now we really need to think about how these toxic marriages are getting to where they are. And it is because of the societal systems that we have. Look at, for example, our churches. Our churches will always be bulldozing submission. Keep quiet. As a woman, you are meant to submit. Don't raise your voice to your husband, and so many other things. So that means that unless we redefine these systems, which I believe will happen with now, if the Gen Zs here were to rise into positions of power and influence, then that is going to change.
All right, redefining marriages is what Joshua says. We'll continue this conversation after the break.
Vultures are gathering, Ladama. With every bit that falls, power shifts.
I want them to feel the emptiness I feel.
All of our property and assets shall be left to Amichir Achesa.
A legacy unravels.
Mimi ndio sheria, mfalme wale Murat.
Who will be left standing when the last beat falls? Shanga Season 2, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. on Maisha Magic Plus. Stay connected to DSTV Channel 163 and GoTV Channel 3.
Kwa majina anaitwa Anthony Chege.
Kwa majina anaitwa Dennis Dung, daktari wa mifugo.
Tumekuja kwa boma ya Mzee Francis. Ametupatia nafasi kuongeleshana na wafanyikazi na kuona vile mafuta ya sawa inafanya kazi.
Sasa nataka kuelezea Kachari kuhusu ukamuaji wa clean milk production, the procedures, vile anastahili kufanya. Anastahili kulisha ng'ombe yake vizuri, apumzike. Wakati time imefika ya kukamua, akuja aingize ng'ombe, aoshe na maji warm, clean vizuri the udder, alafu achukue mafuta ya sawa, milking jelly, apake ng'ombe yake, alafu aanze kukamua. Anastahili kukamua within 5 to 7 minutes each cow, ndio iweze kutoa ile maziwa inastahili, na azuie maneno ya magonjwa kama mastitis. So akikamua within that range, hiyo mashida yote ya mastitis na hiyo mashida ya matiti atakuwa ameondokea.
Wakulima wengi wamefurahi sana kusema wamepata bidhaa ambaye haina kemikali na iko very friendly kwa mikono na kwa matiti ya ng'ombe. Tuko na packaging tofauti, inategemea ule mkulima anataka kiwango gani. Akuwe na ng'ombe moja, tuna size ndogo na tuna ile kubwa ya ule mkulima mkubwa. So anywhere, kitu yoyote utahitaji, size yoyote utaipata kwa duka.
From the dusty football pitches in country to the lush green football grounds in Europe, football offers more than just entertainment to the masses. The beautiful sport is also an employer. Hundreds are employed in the many football clubs playing in the different leagues in the country. Just how sustainable is the industry? Does the country have adequate infrastructure to support a sport? The litmus test awaits as Kenya co-hosts Shan.
The top grass is here, the changing room, everything is, we are ready.
We are ready to host Chan. Everything else that is required of us, we have done.
The cameras are locked in. Has Kenya done enough to promote football as an employer? The People Dialogue. This Wednesday only on K24 and Kameme TV.
Welcome back. This kama kawaida ni Gen Z Manifesto na leo tunasema kama kawaida tunaongea itutoke. Right before we took that break and during this conversation tumekuwa tukikuuliza swali. On marriage, do you think it's a scam or not? Na so we expect some of you to be giving us your feedback. Mkituambia mnatuwatch mkiwa wapi na mnafikiri nini kuhusu hili. So we have Ian, I am Rodri, anasema from Kisumu. For me, still children. I don't want to get married because men outside here. Wewe. All right. Anasema fear men. Wengine hapa anasema responsibilities wamekataa kabisa. Like for me, was just dumped because I sired him a girl and he wanted a boy. Till to date, have never healed and will never trust any man or get into any marriage. We. Mi naitwa Kalastborn. Okay, Kalastborn. Mi nilioa na 21 years. Sahi niko 39 years. My firstborn yuko college, secondborn yuko form 3, lastborn grade 7. Oa mapema, funga shughuli, piga raha na ujenge mali. Okay. Mwingine hapa anasema marriage ndio gani? We are in relationships. It can either be a day or boarding. Okay. Kuna Dipay Mark anasema from Nairobi, Gen Z wanaogopa marriage because most of them are jobless. Nyinyi wote hapa jobless. Linda, wako na kazi.
Kagina, I think this is about time we talk about pregnancy. You know, like aside from the marriage and the cultural background that seems to be influencing this, now let's talk about pregnancy and marriages. Is it that ladies now want to get pregnant and not have to be in a marriage, or what are your thoughts around that? Mpatie mic.
Kama ladies wanataka kuwa pregnant.
Kwanza wewe.
Because like, okay, I'll get pregnant for a month and nidanganye ati I'll be there for you. And
Okay, let me just change your mic. Have this one.
Okay, as I was saying.
Well, party.
Okay, I'll decide to get pregnant for a man. Juu amenidanganya ati he'll be there for me during my pregnancy. And then this man decides to one day wake up and atoke aende. Yani,
mi nimechoka na wewe sasa na hiyo pregnancy yako wewe jishughulikie. What do you think I'll go through during that period yenye that man has gone? You lied to me that you'll be there for me and now you're not there for me. What am I supposed to do as a woman? We don't want to get married as women. Not married. We don't want to get pregnant as women. Leave alone marriage. Hatutaki. We don't want your pregnancies. You can take your pregnancies and put them to yourselves. We don't want them.
But Linda, I'm curious.
Yes.
Is what informs this, fear?
Yeah,
of
like is it
these
trauma?
men not committing? Ni tabia yao vijana wamekuwa hivyo.
Wanaume ni wakora. Because wacha niongee.
Uko na mic.
Uko na mic.
Wanaume ni wakora. I'm saying this because like we've been watching our parents as we grew up, so we know men as wanafaa kukuwa watu very responsible like our parents were to our mothers. But then unapata hawa wanaume, they want to be very polygamous and they cannot handle polygamy. Hawezi kuwa polygamous because one, mtu hawezi kuwa you're earning very low and you want to be a very polygamous man. In that, umekuja umeniongelesha, you want me to be your girlfriend. You go to another person, you talk to them, you want them to be your girlfriend. Like, hawatosheki in short.
Fear yako ni polygamy.
No, these men don't tosheka. Because
Sawa. Kare, perhaps you can comment on that as well because I saw you.
It's not a fear. It is said that a wise person will learn from the experiences of others. They don't wait for the experience to come to their doorstep. Now, whereas it will be very disingenuous to say that all women don't want to get pregnant. Pregnancies are happening daily. People are getting pregnant daily. So I feel like this conversation is not a one-size-fits-all, first of all. Now, for those who are getting pregnant, they want to, and it's okay for them to want to. And for those who don't want to have children, it's okay, because who said having children is a standard? So it's not, it might have been informed from trauma. But I think with the realities of, we are having more conversations online about how pregnancy does to women's bodies, how motherhood is as a whole, without sugarcoating. And I feel like it is okay for some women to say, that is not what I want to do.
So it's informed by either cultural or family backgrounds.
Yes.
Talk about matriarchal families
Yes.
and also patriarchal families.
Yes.
Okay. Let me come to you, psychologist of the day. Yes, you are a psychologist, right? Yeah. When you hear this conversation about the ones who are thinking marriage is a scam and the ones who are not, what comes to your mind? Is this a normal behavior?
Okay, of course it's not a normal behavior. First of all, for us to, just like he said, we have reached a point whereby we've defined marriage according to what's happening. And like she said, that what we have seen, and we are waiting not to go through it. So that one has made us to define something we don't want to get to. So it's normal for somebody to say marriage is a scam, but it is not normal to believe that marriage is a scam. Because I base my points of reference from the Bible, like she said before. When you read the context of the Bible based on marriage, we have the Bible placing marriage to be not a contract like we've been saying all through. Marriage is a covenant. And when you check on the book of Genesis, somewhere in verses of chapter 2, it says that a woman, or rather the man or somebody, will leave the family or the parents and get a wife. Then the end goal here is to have kids and whatever.
Is that still the belief now?
That is why I started by saying we have defined what we see and what has been happening, and we are shying from getting to that level. That is why we now believe it is a scam. And again, from the psychological definition of marriage, marriage is a legally or socially recognized union of two individuals that are committed both behaviorally, emotional, and cognitive. So the biggest term here is commitment. And this is what everything revolves around, including matters to do with pregnancy, matters to do with financial whatever, and everything goes around commitment. And when we talk about a covenant, we have a lot of things that makes a covenant become a covenant, and things that we should not break to ensure that the covenant meets its goal.
Hey, wow, vast reactions. Kagina, what
Linda,
are your thoughts?
Allow me, I'll not even weigh in on this matter. Allow me just to engage another psychologist here, also a mental health awareness
Award
champion.
winning.
Award winning.
Yes.
So, Brother Samuel, during this conversation from the onset, we had words like depressed, married people are depressed. Ndo wamejaza ba. We had, some of these decisions on whether to get married, whether to get pregnant or not, whether to sire children or not, are informed from traumas. From where you sit, does all these, in terms of mental awareness, affect or inform sisi kama Gen Z na how we viewing marriage?
Okay, so I would like to say this. Picture this. There's 20 accidents that happen in a week. But there are over 10 million people who reach their destinations. What you get to see is the 20 people who passed away. But what you don't get to see is the 10 million people who got to their destination. So technically what I'm trying to say, most people base on the negativity rather than the positive. Because a lot of marriages out here succeed, but you never hear about them. Because this is my success, you don't need to hear about it. But the kama tu vile Kiswahili sema kibaya
Chajiuza.
Kizuri? Exactly. So you don't
mbele ya TV mnatudanganya.
Exactly. So once we focus a lot on the negative, it gets to us. But when you focus more on the positive, you won't see this. Like for example, personally, I detest negative energy. So whenever I am around too much negativity, it just overwhelms me. So the thing is, if you're around an environment where marriages don't succeed, where children are, you have single mothers who complain or single fathers who complain, that's what you'll always perceive in your entire life.
So unasema watu wa change attitude ama wa change environment?
Change your mindset first. You can change you can take the street, you can take a man out of the street, but you can never take the street out of. Exactly.
Linda?
I love that. Okay, everyone is raising their hands. Hey, help me out, director. It is a statement. Who has the mic?
Oh, about
okay.
Pregnancy?
30 seconds before I give it
so
to you.
let me be brief. I think pregnancy is a life risk for women, but patriarchy decides to show it as sunshine and roses, but kids are just beautiful, Nini, and which it can be. Kids are a blessing, but pregnancy also comes with a lot of risk, including death. And nobody ever tells women that. They only tell them the positive side, and they don't make informed decisions of whether or not they want pregnancy. And it's even worse because women don't even get appreciated for the pregnancy. Because in case a man amwe kuruka your pregnancy and the woman decides to take the responsibility, she will get shamed for it. She will get shamed. Even just for the word of mouth.
Okay.
Even single mothers, they get shamed, and they're the ones who decided to take the responsibility to be the good person. The man mwenye ako huko atangoja tu ifike graduation na kuja sema, oh, my son, my legacy, jina yangu ya mwisho. It's so unfair. Ngoja nijibu alikuwa anasema, marriage is beautiful these days because women can work, they also get, like, the responsibility
50-50.
can be shared. The man's responsibility is shared. Now, you guys can see, the man's responsibility is like 20% just providence, and the rest is for the women. We are sharing that 20% already, but my pregnancy, my house chores, my housekeeping, you don't want to share it. So, marriage is slavery for women. It is slavery for women.
Brandi, aya, ni slavery pia. I think yeye atujampea time vizuri. Ni slavery, si slavery before then he concludes.
Okay, with me it is not slavery. Yeah. No.
You're the one who gets served. You're the one.
Okay, let him speak. Okay. Ongeza volume ndio wakuamini.
Mwacheni aongee.
Yeah, okay. According to me, before marriage comes, I think husband and wife wanakaa chini, and then they come and build up. But one of the these two people, which is the woman, gives a lot of ana expects mingi, yani ana expectations mingi zenye mwanaume anafaa kumfanyia, zenye zikigo wrong anaona marriage as a slavery. Yeah.
Okay, sawa. Aya, 10 seconds. 10 seconds before I give my final thought.
Okay, so for me, I want to start by saying the hardest tea to swallow is reality. And the reality is that we are not ready for this thing. Honestly, we are not. Most of us are not ready for the marriage.
Okay.
We are not at all. When it comes to the point of saying marriages, are the relationships even working? Let's start from that. Relationships are not even working. Then why are we even looking at marriage when relationships zenyewe zinakaa ni kama tuna struggle in the first place?
Thank you so much.
Hatuko pazuri, tuko pabaya, by the way.
Hey, I wish we had more time. Everyone wants to speak, but well, that's all from my panelists. And in today's world where everything from economic pressures to evolving pressures, then the relationships has really shifted to something else. And everyone will stay with their own beliefs. We are in a liberal world, right? So marriage ikuwe scam, isikuwe scam, kaende. Kagina.
Well, mi nitasema, you know those cook shows where you're given different ingredients and then you're told, cook. Now marriage is such. So wewe ukiamua mashakura, it's up to you. Ukiamua
ni pilau.
Ukiamua kazi tu ni done. Then it's up to you. Back to Miss K.
Right. Thank you so much, Kagina. And I can trust you because you have a ring on your finger. Now, hapo kwenye pregnancies, because pregnancies are a major aspect in marriages. We've heard of something called weaponized pregnancies. We've heard men in marriages talking about nilimpea mimba ili atulie. I can even quote one MP who said, to prevent another man from taking her, I decided to destabilize her. So I made sure every year she must give birth. You know, when someone is pregnant or breastfeeding, no one notices them. I knew after several children, she'd be written off. Those who used to admire her would move on with their lives. I'm the opposite of tall, dark, and handsome. I'm short, brown, and ugly, and disabled. So this is clearly a man who knows amepungukiwa kiflani. Therefore, he uses the one thing, which is his seed,
as a weapon
to destabilize the wife in a marriage context, which is supposed to give me safety, as she said. Yeah. And another person said that marriages are about commitment. What happens then when this commitment is weaponized, sir?
Thank you, Ms. K. I must say, one, it is wrong to weaponize marriage because that is not the original intention of the marriage. And, weaponizing it by bringing new people who are children in this whole, mix, and because that is not the goal that, you're having in the first place. So it is wrong to weaponize a marriage. But again, too, what is causing this man to be weaponized? What is causing this man to weaponize the whole marriage? That is what we must look at, because that is the real root cause of the whole problem.
Right.
So the society has imposed a lot of expectation, and that is what we must try and solve in the first place. And that's why I'm saying the only solution lies in redefining this whole system. Right. Because now, this man is a failure if he does not have a family. This man is a failure if he does not have a wife. The man is a failure if the wife does not give birth to a child, and so many other things. And I know of also ladies are also disadvantaged in their very many other ways because they are caught up in this crossfire of this man trying to meet these societal expectations. Right. So it is wrong to weaponize marriage as an institution, because if we were to really say by what Christians would say, it is a holy institution that was created by God himself. And the idea was that man and woman should live together peacefully and give birth to children. But that is nowadays not the case, because people are fearing, because if a man is going to weaponize marriage in order to destabilize a woman, like the MP is saying, then that is absolutely wrong.
Thank you, Joshua. Malika, and you actually made a video about this the other day. Please tell me your thoughts.
First of all, even look at the language he's used. He's already admitted that he wants to destabilize her. So when you have a person in leadership position saying that they want to weaponize their seed against a woman. Are women supposed to smile and say, yeah, I want to have more babies? Come on, guys. We can't.
So what does this tell you as a Gen Z? What are you taking from
It
this?
tells me that, one, as the gentleman at the back said, we need to look at ourselves first. I think that's one of the first things I'd mentioned. We have to look at ourselves. Society is here to control you. It's up to you to choose whether are you falling for the control, which pill are you taking, red pill or blue pill? Are you staying in the control system, or are you actually using your brain? I can use myself as an example. I actually wanted to have children by the age of 24. It's only till 24, that's 24 actually itself. I was like, girl, what the heaven are you thinking?
Why?
What
What changed your mind?
Me realizing that, for one, I'm not even financially able to take care of this child. Because the one thing we've noticed is the men here saying, women are asking for too much. They're saying the providing is too much. Okay, fine. Let me remove that off the table. Let me do it myself. I believe every woman needs to be in a position where she can take care of that child peke yake. By herself.
So unasema
before you have a child.
From the onset usitegemee mwanaume.
Unakwambia wanawake, munisikize na musikize vizuri. Please hold your ear. Unakumbuka ile primary? Do not go ahead and let a man colonize your uterus when you're not ready.
And by ready you mean financially?
Not just financially, because children come with more than, it's so much more about the money. Are you mentally stable? Are you able to emotionally regulate yourself? Because as even the other gentleman was saying, people are not ready for these things. Ni kierere tu. Na yo kierere, it's messing up the institution. At the same time, we're looking at those behind us as an example. The millennial women who tell women, men kazi yao ni kucheat, accept and move on. What is that? That is teaching women what about the institution of marriage? That we cannot trust in it, that it is not actually honored and holy, as most people here have said, ni ya Mungu. Kama ni ya Mungu, why are we encouraging people to go and have intercourse with every Tom, Dick and Harry? Why? It doesn't really make sense. And at the same time, as my brother said here,
as you wind up, Malika.
Yes, as I wind up, it is up to us, mimi as an individual, mimi kama Malika.
Right.
Nimeona ukijana tumependana. We have, as the other guy said, we sit down, we have a conversation. A conversation is not just before we get married. I believe you have to have muonge kila wiki. Constantly. Because that's the only way to know because we have a problem. Exactly. People grow, people change.
Right.
So I think people are so afraid to do the work on themselves to be able, like this MP, anajua yako, anajua insecurity zake, but yeye anajua insecurity zake amesema, let me use this thing as a weapon, which is very wrong.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Malika. Joshua, your parting shot as we finish.
My parting shot is, guys, we need to redefine this whole system. Let us try and rethink this whole system. I know it's hard to defend men because for many years the system really favored men. That is the truth, we must say. But for us to be able to progress, for us to be able to grow, because also our society cannot work where we cannot have trust, we cannot have these values. And that's why, you know, nowadays it's very difficult. Even in countries like Japan and China, people are being paid to even give birth. So it's really crazy because we may grow extinct if we do not really continue this whole thing. So we just need to appreciate what has been happening and we just accept that we can come together to the table, a man and a woman, reason out how you want your relationship to be, and then the rest is going to work.
All right, Joshua. Nasikia kuna claps the other side, ni kama tumeelewana. Now, clearly, we have a cocktail of opinions as Gen Zs when it comes to marriage. But one thing is for sure, this lot is aware of the good, the bad, and the ugly which comes with joining the institution. So as we close the show tonight, here are my 2 cents. My dear fellow Gen Zs, yeah? Remember that sensual pleasures have the fleeting brilliance of a comet, but a happy marriage has the tranquility of a lovely sunset. So choose wisely who you want to stare at the sunset for the rest of your life. And for those who choose not to get married, power to you. It's really not a matter of life and death. You see, happiness is a choice. You can find it anywhere and everywhere else. You simply need to seek it. And for those in for it for purely business purposes, may the money flow, beloved. You see, at the end of the day, at this time and age, the goal is to surround ourselves with people who make our lives a little bit better in any way, as we continue to seek and fight for better governance, it's always about the person you go home to after maandamano, after an argument with your diabolical boss, after an unfortunate encounter with the traffic police officer. So pick your person and have a blast, beloved. That's it from us tonight. My name is Miss Kahiro, and this has been the Gen Z Manifesto. See you next Tuesday, same time, same place. Good night.
TV Muthegi wa Rũrĩrĩ. Muthenya mwega umenyekanaga riũa rĩkiuma ngo-inĩ.